High Admiral Tejo stood tall on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion. His dark uniform gleamed under the soft blue lights. The ship was the pride of the Galactic Empire's fleet. It was over 3 miles long and could destroy a small moon. Tejo looked out at the stars. The Empire had ruled these stars for 10,000 years. Thousands of alien species lived under their control. Some joined willingly. Others needed to be shown their place. "Admiral, we have the report on the new species," said Officer Han, handing over a datapad. Tejo took it. His eyes moved quickly over the information. "Humans," he read aloud, "from the planet they call Earth, 3rd planet in the Sol system." He scrolled through images of the blue-green world and its people. They looked simple, not very different from many humanoid species in the Empire. "They only achieved space travel a century ago," Tejo said with a small laugh. "And their fastest ships are barely able to reach light speed." Officer Han nodded. "They have no unified government. Their planet is divided into nearly 200 territories they call countries. They fight among themselves constantly." Tejo handed back the datapad. "A Class C civilization then. Primitive, but with potential. Should we make contact?" "Admiral?" Han asked. "Yes. Send the standard diplomatic package. Offer them the usual terms." Han bowed slightly and left to carry out the orders. Tejo turned back to the viewport. Another species to add to the Empire, another world to provide resources. The humans would be grateful for Imperial technology. All species were, in the beginning. 3 weeks later, 5 Imperial ships entered Earth's solar system. They moved past the outer planets with ease. Humans detected them when they passed Mars. The reaction on Earth was chaos and fear. Earth's largest countries sent their leaders to meet in an emergency summit. They formed the Earth Defense Coalition in a matter of days. They chose Director Jiwoo to speak for all humans. Jiwoo was calm and smart. She had led peace talks between fighting nations before. Now she would speak for all of humanity to aliens. The Imperial delegation landed in a large open field in a neutral country. Their ship was sleek and silver, much smaller than their massive warships waiting in orbit. A group of 10 aliens stepped out. The lead alien looked almost human, but with pale blue skin and eyes too large for its face. It spoke perfect English. "I am Diplomatic Officer Kyo," it said. "I bring greetings from the Galactic Empire." Jiwoo stepped forward. "I am Director Jiwoo of the Earth Defense Coalition. We welcome you to Earth." Kyo smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. "We have been watching your world," Kyo said. "Your species has potential. The Empire wishes to offer you membership." The terms were simple. Earth would become a client state of the Empire. They would receive some technology, enough to solve their energy problems and end disease. In exchange, Earth would provide resources and accept Imperial rule. "Your planet has rare minerals we find useful," Kyo explained. "And your people could work in various Imperial facilities. It's a generous offer for a species at your level of development." Jiwoo listened carefully. When Kyo finished, she asked, "And if we wish to join as equals, to keep our independence?" Kyo's large eyes blinked slowly. "That is not possible. You are not equals. Your technology is primitive. Your society is divided. In time, perhaps hundreds of years, you might earn greater status." The meeting lasted hours. The Imperial offer did not change. They would help Earth, but Earth would serve them. Back on the Eternal Dominion, High Admiral Tejo received Kyo's report. "The humans are stubborn," Kyo said. "They believe they deserve equal standing." Tejo laughed. "They all do at first. They'll accept our terms eventually. There is something else, Admiral. While we were meeting with their leaders, we detected unusual activity. Some of our scanning equipment malfunctioned near their military bases." Tejo frowned. "Explain." "It may be nothing. Perhaps interference from their primitive electronics, but it felt deliberate." "Keep monitoring them," Tejo ordered. "Send Commander Sungmin to handle this situation." Commander Sungmin was young for his rank. He had bright eyes and ambition. When he received his orders, he was disappointed. "Babysitting primitives?" he complained to his friend, Lieutenant Do-hyun. "This is a waste of my skills." Do-hyun, who worked in communications, patted his shoulder. It's not a glorious assignment, but it's your first command. Prove yourself worthy. Sung-min nodded, but he wasn't happy. Dealing with a Class C civilization wouldn't earn him promotions or respect. Ji-woo returned to the Earth Defense Coalition with the Imperial terms. The room was silent as she explained what the aliens wanted. They see us as children, she said, or pets. They will give us scraps from their table if we obey them. An older man spoke up. But their technology could save millions of lives, end poverty, solve climate change. At the cost of our freedom, Ji-woo replied. And they won't give us their real technology. Only the basics. A military general leaned forward. What do we know about their weapons? Their ships are beyond anything we have, Ji-woo admitted. One of their small cruisers could destroy our entire fleet. The room fell silent again. So we must accept their terms, someone said quietly. Ji-woo stood straighter. No, we have another option. She pressed a button, and a screen showed images of Imperial technology. While they were talking to us, we were studying them. Their ships, their tools, their weapons. A scientist stood up. Their technology is advanced but not magical. We can understand it, maybe even copy it. They don't think we're a threat, Ji-woo continued. They've assigned a junior commander to oversee us. They aren't watching us carefully. What are you suggesting? Asked the general. We pretend to consider their offer. We delay. And while we delay, we learn. We prepare. Ji-woo's eyes were hard and determined. We will not become slaves of the Empire. The coalition voted, it wasn't even close. Earth would resist, but secretly. In orbit around Earth, Commander Sung-min watched the blue planet with boredom. Any update from the humans? He asked. They say they need time to consider our offer, Do-hyun replied. They want to consult with all their nations. Sung-min sighed. How primitive. Imagine needing everyone's opinion. Should we push them for an answer? No, Sung-min said. Let them talk. They'll accept eventually. They always do. What Sung-min didn't know was that beneath the surface of military bases around the world, humans were working day and night. They studied every bit of Imperial technology they could scan or observe. They built prototype weapons based on Imperial designs. And in a secret facility deep underground, Earth's best engineers were building something the Empire would never expect. A warship, a human warship. But not like anything the Empire had ever seen before. We have 3 years at most, Ji-woo told the engineers. Before they lose patience. The chief engineer nodded. We'll be ready. Ji-woo looked at the massive hull taking shape before her. They think we're primitive. They think we're weak. Her hand formed a fist. We'll show them how wrong they are. 3 years passed. The Imperial ships remained in Earth's orbit waiting. Commander Sung-min had grown impatient. 3 years, he said, pacing the bridge of his ship. 3 years of watching these humans talk and talk. Lieutenant Do-hyun looked up from her screen. They say they're still reaching consensus among their nations. Sung-min stopped pacing. No species takes this long to accept Imperial rule. Something is wrong. He brought up a holographic map of the Sol system. Small red dots showed human activity beyond Earth. They had built small bases on their moon, on Mars, and even on some asteroids. They're expanding without our permission, Sung-min said, his voice hard. This cannot continue. He sent a message to High Admiral Tae-ho, requesting permission to take stronger action. The reply came quickly. Permission granted. Disciplinary. Action approved. 15 warships will join your fleet. Show the humans that the Empire's patience has limits. Sung-min smiled. Finally, a real mission. A chance to prove himself. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains on Earth, Director Ji-woo stood in a massive underground hangar. Before her floated a hologram showing Imperial ships moving toward Earth. They're coming, she said. 15 new warships. They're done waiting. General Park, head of Earth's military forces, nodded grimly. Are we ready? Ji-woo turned to look at what filled the hangar. 5 massive ships, unlike anything humans had built before. They were not sleek and elegant like imperial vessels. These ships were angular with sections that looked cobbled together, but appearances were deceiving. "Project Phoenix is ready," said Chief Engineer Kim, pride in his voice. "All 5 ships are operational." Jiwoo walked to the nearest ship. Its hull was dark gray with the Earth Defense Coalition symbol painted on the side. The name Defiance was written beneath it. "These ships contain everything we've learned," Engineer Kim explained. "We took their technology and made it our own." General Park looked doubtful. 5 ships against 15 Imperial warships, and their ships are much larger. Jiwoo placed her hand on the cool metal of the Defiance. "Size isn't everything, General. Neither is number. We have surprises for the Empire," Engineer Kim added with a small smile. "Many surprises." Jiwoo turned to face them. "Send the call. I want our best pilots. It's time to show the Empire what humans can do." Commander Sung-min felt proud as he led the Imperial fleet toward Earth. 15 warships, including his flagship, Imperial Justice, moved in perfect formation. Each ship was a masterpiece of Imperial engineering with weapons that could turn cities to ash in seconds. "Send a message to Earth," he ordered. "Tell them to cease all unauthorized space activity and prepare to accept Imperial terms. They have 1 Earth day to comply." Do-hyun sent the message. The reply came faster than expected. "Commander," Do-hyun said, sounding confused. They're refusing." Sung-min frowned. "Explain." "They say they reject our terms completely. They demand that we leave the Sol system immediately." Laughter broke out on the bridge. Sung-min allowed himself a small smile. "They've wasted enough of our time," he said. "Prepare to enter Earth orbit. We'll blockade their planet until they understand their situation." As the Imperial fleet approached Earth, sensors detected 5 vessels leaving the planet's atmosphere. "Human ships moving to intercept," reported the sensor officer. Sung-min studied the images on his screen. The human vessels looked strange, ugly even, not like the smooth, elegant lines of Imperial ships. "What are those?" he asked, leaning forward. "They don't match any known human design." The sensor officer shook his head. "Unknown, Commander. They appear to be new construction." Sung-min felt a flicker of unease but pushed it away. "It doesn't matter. They're still primitive vessels. Do-hyun, open a channel." The main screen showed the bridge of the lead human ship. A woman in a dark uniform stood there. Sung-min recognized her from the reports. "Director Jiwoo." "This is Commander Sung-min of the Galactic Empire," he said. "Your presence is a violation of Imperial directive. Return to your planet immediately." Jiwoo's face showed no fear. "This is Director Jiwoo of the Earth Defense Coalition. You are in Earth space uninvited. Leave now, or we will remove you." More laughter on the bridge. Sung-min silenced it with a raised hand. "You have 5 small ships," he said. "We have 15 Imperial warships. Do not force us to destroy you." Jiwoo smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. "We've studied your ships for 3 years, Commander. We know their strengths and their weaknesses. This is your final warning." Sung-min. "Cut the transmission. Arrogant primitives deploy in standard suppression formation. Disable their engines, but try not to destroy them completely. The Admiral wants prisoners to question." The Imperial fleet spread out, moving to surround the human ships. It was standard procedure. Show overwhelming force. Break their will to fight. The human ships made no attempt to escape. Instead, they moved forward directly toward the Imperial vessels. "They're attacking?" Do-hyun said in disbelief. "That's suicide." Sung-min felt that flicker of unease again. This wasn't normal behavior. Primitives faced with Imperial warships usually fled or surrendered. "Fire warning shots," he ordered. Low power across their bows. Energy beams shot out from 3 Imperial ships. They were meant to pass in front of the human vessels, a demonstration of power. But something impossible happened. The human ships moved. Not slowly. Not gradually. They simply weren't where they had been a split second before. "They've jumped position," the sensor officer said, voice rising. "That's not possible at that speed." "Fire again," Sung-min ordered. "Full power this time." More energy beams lanced out. The human ships moved again, impossibly fast. One of the beams struck an Imperial ship instead, causing its shields to flare. "How are they moving like that?" Sungmin demanded. "Nothing can change direction that quickly." Before anyone could answer, the human ships fired. Not energy beams like Imperial weapons. They fired what looked like physical projectiles. Metal. Slugs. Primitive weapons. Sungmin almost laughed, until the projectiles passed straight through the shields of an Imperial destroyer as if they weren't there. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. "Impossible!" Sungmin shouted. "Our shields can stop anything." More human ships fired. More Imperial ships exploded or began to drift, disabled. Du-hyun stared at her console in shock. "Commander, they're using some kind of modified projectile. It's phasing through our shields somehow." The bridge rocked as something hit the Imperial Justice. Alarms blared. Smoke filled the air. "Shields at 20%, someone shouted. "Hull breach on decks 5 through 8. Sungmin stared at the screen. The human ships moved like nothing he had ever seen. Their weapons shouldn't work. Their ships shouldn't be able to maneuver like that. None of this should be possible. In less than an hour, 12 Imperial warships were destroyed or disabled. Only 3 remained, including Sungmin's damaged flagship. "Retreat," he ordered, his voice hollow. "Back to Imperial space." As his crippled ship limped away, Sungmin recorded a message for High Admiral Tae-ho. His hands shook as he spoke. The humans, they were holding back. All this time they were studying us, learning our weaknesses, building weapons specifically designed to counter ours. He paused, then added 4 final words. They were holding back. The Imperial Palace on the capital world of Nova Prime was a massive structure of shining metal and crystal. At its heart was the Grand Council Chamber, where the rulers of the Galactic Empire made their decisions. Today, the chamber was in chaos. "Impossible!" shouted Counselor J, pounding his fist on the table. 15 Imperial warships against 5 primitive vessels, and we lost? High Admiral Tae-ho stood in the center of the chamber. His uniform was perfect, but his face showed strain. Behind him played a hologram showing the battle at Earth. The human ships moved in ways that defied physics. Imperial warships exploded. "The reports are accurate," Tae-ho said. His voice was calm, but inside he felt fear. "Commander Sungmin has been questioned thoroughly. There is no mistake." "These humans," said Elder Counselor Min, her voice quiet but sharp. "You classified them as Class C, primitives." Tae-ho nodded stiffly. "Based on all our data, they should be. Their technology was basic, their society divided." "Then explain this." Counselor J pointed at the hologram, where a human ship seemed to simply vanish from one spot and appear in another. "I cannot," Tae-ho admitted. "It shouldn't be possible." The doors to the chamber opened. A small woman with gray hair and tired eyes entered. The council fell silent. This was Dr. Jinnah, the Empire's foremost scientist. "Perhaps I can explain," she said. Jinnah walked to the center of the room. She pressed a button on her wrist, and new images appeared in the hologram. Close-up views of the human ships. "Look at these vessels," she said. "Notice anything unusual?" The council members stared at the images. Elder Min spoke first. "They're ugly." Jinnah smiled slightly. "Yes. Not designed for beauty or elegance like our ships. But look closer. See how each section seems different? Almost as if they were built from different parts." Tae-ho finished, understanding, dawning. "Exactly," Jinnah said. "I've analyzed the footage carefully. These human ships contain elements of our technology but used in ways we never imagined." She changed the image again. Now they saw a diagram of a human weapon. This is their main weapon. It's a simple metal projectile, like what they use on their planet. But they've modified it with a phase shift device derived from our shield technology. "They turned our shields into weapons?" someone asked. Jinnah nodded. "Our shields create a phase barrier that stops matter. They reversed it, created projectiles that can pass through any phase barrier." The council chamber was silent as this sank in. And their movement? Tejo asked. No ship can change direction that quickly without killing its crew. Jinnah looked troubled. They appear to have taken our gravity control technology and weaponized it too. They're not moving the ships. They're moving space around the ships. Counselor J stood up. This is theft of Imperial technology. We should send our entire fleet to crush them. Murmurs of agreement filled the room. I would advise against that, Jinnah said quietly. The room fell silent again. Why? Demanded Jay. Because we don't understand how they think, Jinnah explained. The Empire has perfected technology over thousands of years. We refine, we polish, we improve gradually. She gestured to the human ships. These humans took technology they barely understand and turned it into something new in just 3 years. If we attack them now, who knows what they'll create in response? Tejo felt cold. You're saying they're more innovative than we are. I'm saying they think differently, Jinnah corrected. Where we perfect, they improvise. Where we follow rules, they break them. They don't know what's impossible, so they do it anyway. The council erupted in argument. Some wanted war. Others wanted to negotiate. No one knew what to do about a species that could match Imperial technology so quickly. Commander Sung Min stood at attention before High Admiral Tejo in a private chamber after the council meeting. His once pristine uniform was now marked with a badge of shame. He had lost a battle. That rarely happened in the Imperial fleet. Tell me honestly, Tejo said. Could we have won that battle? Sung Min thought carefully before answering. No, Admiral. Not with 100 ships. Their weapons pass through our shields as if they aren't there. And their movement, it's like fighting ghosts. Tejo nodded. You're being reassigned. The council needs a scapegoat, and you're it. Sung Min accepted this without complaint. It was how the Empire worked. But, Tejo continued, I have a special mission for you. You've seen these humans fight. You know what they can do. I need you to study them. Find their weaknesses. Sung Min looked up, surprised. You want me to go back? Not to fight, to watch, to learn, take a stealth ship, stay hidden. For the first time in his career, Sung Min saw fear in his admiral's eyes. Throughout the Empire, news spread. Rumors grew with each telling. Humans had destroyed an Imperial fleet with ease. Human ships could appear anywhere, vanish at will, pass through solid matter. On 100 worlds, citizens looked to the sky with new fear. What if humans came here? Imperial military bases doubled their patrols. Ship captains ran shield drills day and night, though everyone knew shields were useless against human weapons. And then the sightings began. A strange ship spotted near the mining colony of Rigel, gone before Imperial ships arrived. A vessel of unusual design observed studying an Imperial research station. When approached, it simply vanished. Each ship was different. Each had that same cobbled-together look. Human ships watching, learning. They're mapping our territory, Tejo told the council. Studying our defenses. Preparing for war, Counselor J said grimly. Or preparing to defend themselves, Elder Min suggested. We did threaten them first. In the Imperial Science Academy, Dr. Jinnah studied every scrap of data on the human ships. She had a team of 50 scientists working around the clock to understand how humans had done the impossible. Young scientist ran into her office, excited. Doctor, we intercepted a transmission between 2 human vessels. Jinnah took the datapad and read the decoded message. Her eyes widened. Get this to the Admiral immediately, she ordered. The message was simple. From one human ship captain to another. They've had 10,000 years to become set in their ways. We've had a century of constant innovation. They can't adapt as quickly as we can build. Jinnah understood the danger now. The Empire's greatest strength, its age, its stability, its perfect and refined technology, was also its greatest weakness. The Empire couldn't change quickly. Humans did nothing but change. She looked out her window at the stars. Out there, human ships watched and learned, and built. What would they create next? 6 months after the battle at Earth, life in the Imperial Palace seemed almost normal again. The panic had faded. New security measures were in place. The council focused on other matters. Then the alarm sounded. High Admiral Tae-ho was in his office when the call came. Admiral, unknown ship in orbit, massive size. Tae-ho ran to the command center. Officers moved quickly, their faces tense. On the main screen was an image that made Tae-ho stop in his tracks. A ship hung in orbit above Nova Prime, but calling it a ship seemed wrong. It was more like a small moon. Its surface was a patchwork of different materials and designs. Some sections gleamed with imperial metals. Others were rough and dark. The whole thing looked like it had been built from scraps, yet it moved with perfect precision. Size comparison, Tae-ho ordered. A diagram appeared. The unknown vessel was 5 times larger than the Empire's biggest dreadnought. Weapons? He asked. Unknown, sir, said the sensor officer. But power readings are off the scale. Shields? We can't even analyze them. Our sensors can't penetrate. Tae-ho felt cold fear. He knew what this was. A human ship, but not like the ones at Earth. This was something new, something worse. They're sending a message, sir, said the communications officer. Put it on screen, Tae-ho ordered. The screen changed to show a familiar face. Director Ji-woo of Earth. She wore a simple dark uniform with a small Earth symbol on the collar. This is Director Ji-woo of the Earth Defense Coalition vessel Humanities are. Answer, she said. We request a direct meeting with the Imperial Council. Tae-ho found his voice. This is High Admiral Tae-ho. Your presence here is unexpected. Ji-woo's face remained calm. We gave you 6 months to contact us. You chose not to, so we decided to come to you. How did you find our capital world? Tae-ho asked. The location of Nova Prime was one of the Empire's most guarded secrets. Ji-woo almost smiled. You've been watching us. We've been watching you too. Tae-ho looked at the massive ship again. It could destroy the entire planet. Everyone in the Yao command center knew it. What do you want? He asked. To talk, Ji-woo said simply. I will come down with a small team, unarmed. Tae-ho wanted to refuse, to call for the fleet. But the fleet would take days to arrive. And what could they do against a ship like that? The council will receive you, he said finally. The Grand Council chamber was full. Every councilor was present. Guards lined the walls, though all knew they were useless if the humans attacked. The doors opened. Director Ji-woo entered with 2 human companions. They carried no visible weapons. They walked to the center of the chamber with confident steps. High Admiral Tae-ho stood to one side. Commander Sung-min stood near him, recently returned from his mission to study the humans. Dr. Jin-ah was there too, watching the humans with keen eyes. Director Ji-woo, Elder Min said formally, the council recognizes you. Ji-woo bowed slightly. Thank you for receiving us. I bring a message from Earth. Is the message your warship in our orbit? Counselor Jay asked coldly. A show of force? Show of capability, Ji-woo corrected. You needed to see what we can do, what we can build. One of her companions stepped forward and placed a small device on the floor. It projected a hologram showing schematics for technologies the Empire had never seen. 3 years ago you offered us a place in your empire, Ji-woo continued. As servants, as lessers, we rejected that offer. She gestured to the hologram. Now we make our own offer. An equal partnership between Earth and the Empire. The council chamber filled with angry voices. Equality with primitives? Impossible. Ji-woo waited for the noise to die down. We don't want war, she said. We could have attacked, we didn't. We want to share knowledge, to grow together. She turned to Dr. Jin-ah. Your scientist understands, don't you, Doctor? Jin-ah stepped forward. The humans offer something we lack. Innovation. New ideas. Our empire has stood for 10,000 years, Counselor Jay shouted. What could we possibly need from you? Ji-woo looked at him calmly. Change. Growth. For 10,000 years you've refined the same technologies, followed the same patterns. You've stopped evolving. The hologram changed to show imperial technology over the millennia. The changes were small, gradual. Your empire is stable but stagnant, Jiwoo said. Humans are chaotic but creative. Together we could be something greater than either alone. Elder Min leaned forward. And if we refuse your offer? Then we go our separate ways, Jiwoo said. We take our space at the edge of your empire. We build our own alliance with other species who want something different, and we defend what is ours. The unspoken threat hung in the air. The humans would fight if forced, and they might win. High Admiral Taeho stepped forward. You built that ship in 6 months? Jiwoo nodded. The humanity's answer. Our first true warship. A prototype. A prototype, Taeho repeated. He turned to the council. This is what they built while we debated. Imagine what they'll build if we push them to war. Commander Sung Min spoke up. Admiral, during my observation mission I saw 20 different human vessel designs, each testing different technologies. They never stop creating. Dr. Jinnah added, the technical data they're sharing is beyond anything we've developed. They've taken our basic principles and found applications we never imagined. The council chamber grew quiet as everyone considered what this meant. Finally, Elder Min spoke. What exactly do you propose, Director Jiwoo? Jiwoo smiled for the first time. A new beginning. Earth joins the Empire as a full member world. We share our innovations. You share your stability and resources. Together we grow stronger. And your ships? Taeho asked. Your weapons? We keep them, Jiwoo said firmly. As you keep yours. But we use them together against common threats, not against each other. The council debated for hours. Some argued that accepting humans as equals would weaken the Empire. Others saw the opportunity for new growth. In a private moment, Commander Sung Min approached Jiwoo. I have to ask, he said quietly. At the Battle of Earth, you could have destroyed all our ships? Why didn't you? Jiwoo looked at him thoughtfully. Humanity has fought too many wars among ourselves. We've learned that victory isn't about destruction. It's about what comes after. Sung Min considered this. You never wanted to rule the Empire? No, Jiwoo agreed. We just want our place in it. As equals. As partners. 3 months later, the Treaty of Seoul was signed. The Galactic Empire became the Galactic Confederation, with Earth as a founding member. Human innovation spread through the former empire. New ships, new weapons, new ways of thinking. And when the first scouts of an invasion force appeared at the edge of the galaxy, they didn't find an old, rigid empire. They found something new, something adaptable, something that combined the wisdom of age with the creativity of youth. They found a civilization that could not be conquered. On the bridge of the combined fleet's flagship, High Admiral Taeho stood beside Fleet Captain Jiwoo. Before them stretched a vast armada of ships, imperial and human designs working together. Do you think they'll attack? Jiwoo asked, looking at the enemy vessels on the screen. Taeho smiled slightly. I hope they do. I want to see their faces when they realize what they're up against. Jiwoo nodded. Humanity plus empire. The best of both. The invaders won't know what hit them, Taeho agreed. And they didn't. The end.